Hey kids, hey lambs, welcome back to the Hey Lamb podcast. It's Treacle here, Treacle Tots on Instagram and Twitter if you please. So welcome back to the Hey Lamb podcast. This is my safe space and yours where we get to talk all things Mariah Carey and geek out together, and that's exactly what I'm doing with today's guest. Returning to the show, we have Tyrone.
Hey everybody, hey.
Hey, how you doing, Tyrone? You well?
I'm alright, thanks. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you back on the show. Welcome back. So if anyone missed you, I believe it was episode 5 where Tyrone made his appearance on Hey Lamb, and it was She Do Wear Good Hair, because Tyrone is a professional wig maker. You can follow him on Instagram at Tyrone Story, but also go and check out his fabulous wigs at Boldy Locks Wigs, and that's where we get the lip syncing and playing up to the camera, and I love it. And you send me extra things as well on social media, on top of what you post on social media. I get the extra edits and things on WhatsApp.
It gets the extra edit and the extra licks. Whenever I'm bored, I just lip sync to myself in front of the mirror and send it to Matt.
I love it so much. So guys, go and check out at Tyrone Story on Instagram and at Boldy Locks Wigs. And also while you're on Instagram, go to the Hey Lamb podcast account. You can support the show by going to Instagram, and you can also support the show by giving us a fabulous 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to go further, you can also support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/Hey Lamb and buy a little drink for me and my guests. And you can also become member of my YouTube channel. We get extra content every week in Extra Chop, which is the after show. So if by the end of this hour, if you haven't had enough of Tyrone and you haven't had enough of me, then you can head over to YouTube, become a member for as little as £1.99 per month, and you get extra content every week and other bonus content as well. That's all the housekeeping out of the way. I need to get better at doing all that at the start of the show. But welcome back, Tyrone. We are going to talk about Mariah potentially going back out on tour now that the world is starting to get back to normal. But first of all, let's just touch base on what's been happening, because we've had a few little, developments. First of all, we've got to talk about Somewhat Loved, because it's been with us now for a few weeks, So I want to know, and you're an honest lamb. You always, serve the truth. What were you hoping for versus what was your first impression versus where are you now that it's a couple of weeks have gone by?
Don't get me wrong. I listened to it 87 times in that day when it first came out, so she got the plays. But since then, I haven't listened to it all week. So I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. It's a good song. I like it, but I won't go searching for it anymore. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried that the novelty is wearing off very quickly for me. And I tell you, a part of it is I haven't assigned it to any playlists. I haven't decided what the vibe is, what the feel is for me. I like the snippet that you said, that was like, okay, cool, that got my interest.
Yeah, when I heard that, I thought it was gonna be like, no, it is amazing, but I was like, oh my god, wow. And it came out, it was wow, but it wasn't wow.
Yeah, it's like, that's cute, but it's not gonna change my life. It's not gonna rock my world. I think the chorus is catchy, but I can kind of see why it's been saved for now and for someone else's album. Someone was telling me, shout out to channel member Josh, he was telling me that he heard the song a couple of years ago. It was New York. Remember she had the Mariah experience. I think it was, so that would have been early 2019, I believe, with the whole Caution era in progress. Mm-hmm. So I think that was it. Was it the Mariah experience? Anyway, he was in New York for a record store signing, and he's in line, and then there's someone in the line. In fact, let me find the message. Okay, so I just found the message. So shout out to channel member Josh. He said actually it was Christmas, December 2019. He thinks it was December the 19th. He's very specific. He says, we were all queuing up outside and one lamb named Dev, who's a moderator on the Mariah Carey community Facebook page. That's the big one with many people in that Mariah's also in. So Dev came over and huddled a few of us together and said, I have something for you all to hear. he started to play what we now know as Somewhat Loved. We were all amazed and certainly dubious as to whether or not it actually was MC at first, but a few seconds in and we were all hooked, we knew. Listening to that song 2 years early was such a treat and really lifted the cold New York morning, morning, considering some of us had been out there queuing from 5 a.m. The one thing that stood out, and I remember, was the bridge of this song, the way it breaks down to just the piano and the background vocals with Mariah serving whistles. So, yeah, apparently it was something that existed end of 2019 and maybe it was intended for Caution and just didn't make the cut or something. I don't know. So it's been around. And then I also heard that she has gone back into the studio to finish the vocals or rework the vocals. So I kind of felt like it was a song that was like a work in progress and she just didn't use it for any of her projects. And then because didn't actually Terry Jam and Jimmy Lewis, didn't they say actually that they wanted to have her for the album and she came to them with a song? There's a recent little interview clip. Yeah, there's a few like promotional interview clips of them talking about the album, and they said that Mariah came to them with a song and said, well, how about this? You produce this. So that must have been it. So she had it in her back pocket. She had it.
She's got songs just falling out of her back pocket. It's like
literally, yeah.
if you had to choose one, Somewhat Loved or Save the Day, which one would you choose over those two?
To keep.
I would still, yeah, I would choose Somewhat Loved over that. I was thinking about that today.
I think I'd keep Save the Day.
Really?
Yeah, and I think maybe only because it's lived with me for longer, because my initial reaction to Somewhat Loved feels similar to Save the Day. Like I was like, yay!
Yeah.
And then after a week,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, must remember to keep playing it a little bit. But now Save the Day, I've slipped it into a few playlists, and then you have that initial like gut reaction. I'm like, oh yay! You know, like, oh, it's Save the Day. And I've played it for a few friends and stuff. I think I need to let myself live with Somewhat Loved for a little bit longer because I do like it. But like I said, I haven't put it on any playlist yet. I don't know where to assign her. So she's just floating out there on her own for now. But we'll see. We'll see. What about the lyric video? Have you seen the lyric video? Can we talk about that?
I've seen half of it.
Well, then you've seen all of it because it doesn't go anywhere. The only thing at the end is they've got that Sims character that is meant to be our girl Mariah. And it's really bad. In fact, I need you to watch the last part of the video because of the hair. That's my issue, because they've got this silhouette, which kind of works because you think of like Mariah in concert, she has the video screens with the graphics, and it's like silhouettes of her, and she's moving pose and, you know, things. It's like an attempt at that, but it's not Mariah's silhouette. It's just like a random, like the girl in the water. It's meant to be like Dream Lover, you know, because that's earlier in the lyric video. But at the end, they've got this person. It's meant to be her like at a concert, but it's just a random Sims character, and their hair is thin and like transparent, and it's like that is if that's trying to be Mariah, there is not enough hair on that head by a quarter. It's just bad. It was a weird video because you get like references to Mariah music videos in the past, but done in almost like a creepy way, like fantasy. It looks like a horror movie, like the amusement park, the theme park's like shut down late at night. It just looks like something that closed down 20 years ago or something. And then you've got like the jet ski, you know, that from, you know, there's like a honey reference there, but again, it's just like randomly like in like the dark water. It just looks like it's, I don't know, it's a weird vibe. It's I think it's meant to be moody, but it doesn't really come across as, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
strange.
I'll definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, check out the hair at the end. It's a weird one. What about Always Be My Baby from the Runaway
Yeah.
Bunny soundtrack? Because that was out a while ago, but we've only just now got the soundtrack released to streaming. So I had heard the Always Be My Baby lullaby. I call it the lullaby version because that's the vibe I get from it. But we didn't have access to it. But now we finally do. And that one I have allocated to a couple of playlists.
Oh,
What do you think
really?
of this song?
She's not getting allocated to any playlists.
Tyrone!
No, she's not. No. My favorite version of Always Be My Baby is the remix. That is number one on my Spotify. I play
Yeah.
that like a good 7 times a day. Like she gets rotated a lot. I would choose the remix over the normal version,
Yes.
but I like the normal version better than the new version. So I
I'd agree with all of that, but I really am enjoying playing the new version because there is novelty in it, but because it for me it's on a couple of my bedtime playlists, and
okay.
it's such a lullaby kind of like vibe. It's not, but it's not too sickly sweet. Like it's not like a lullaby for children. It's still just really pretty to listen to, and
Hmm.
it's only a couple of minutes. It's almost like if I turn the TV off, I'm like, right, I'm going to bed. I start playing like my bedtime playlist while I'm doing the skin and the teeth and like everything in in the bathroom mirror, and I tend to put that one on first. I'm like, oh, it's time for my bedtime playlist. Let's put on Always Be My Baby. It kind of like starts off
I
my
never thought of that. I might do
skincare
that. Make
routine.
a bedtime playlist. My partner doesn't let me listen to music in bed.
Oh, I have
He
to.
thinks it's terrible. I used to always listen to like headphones in my ears, but he would never allow me to play music out loud. He wouldn't be able to sleep, he said.
Oh
I can
no,
sleep with music.
I
I
have
actually might
to.
have to say to him, might try it. Like, I might put that on tonight when we're sleeping and see what he thinks. Do you know, he'll probably turn it off because he hates Mariah Carey. So,
Well,
yeah,
don't
it's not
go,
great.
don't launch this whole campaign with a Mariah heavy playlist. Then be strategic about it. And also, if it sounds like it's like coming from the phone, it does kind of feel like you've left something playing. But if it's in like on a speaker, almost in like a different room, it feels more background. Not like you're trying to fall
Hmm.
asleep and the person next to you, it's like they're watching something on their phone. It sounds like they got to like, get it the right. It's got to sound right. But I have my bedtime playlist is called Drift. And of course, it's got the drifting remix of Underneath the Stars. But I've got a lot of Mariah on there, but I've got other songs. I rotate things in and out because it needs to be familiar because I can't actively listen to what's there. So that's why it's got some really vintage Mariah songs. And it's so fun to have from the rarities now, like Do You Think of Me and Everything Fades Away. Like they're so familiar to my brain, they're not going to distract me and wake me up, but they're just so nice to have in the background because otherwise I'm going to listen to myself breathing. I'm going to have the clock next door bother me. I live next to a pond and I get wildlife. Like I have to have something to kind of just distract me from that.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely make a playlist like that, I think.
And I'm
I only have my
telling,
favorites playlist for the gym, and that's it.
well, yeah, I guess I would imagine you've got an extensive gym playlist or several.
It's full of Mariah Carey. Like, it's full of Mariah Carey.
Was it you that was telling me you're in the gym, like listening to Forever and things? You're like, are you in the gym to ballads?
Listen, people do not like. I'm not joking. When I'm on the treadmill or on the gym, I listen to Forever. Like, oh, Santa was on rotation this morning. Like, she was on rotation. Even Slay Ride got a couple of plays today. You know, I love my Christmas music, Matt. And like, I listen to Forever. The people next to me must be thinking, what the fuck is this boy listening to? I remember once I was sat on the bench and this man, just random man came with me and goes, oh, what are you listening to? I was like, Mariah Carey. And it was Christmas time. He was like, Mariah Carey. I was like, yeah, Mariah Carey Warm for Christmas. And he looked at me, he's like, what? And I thought, okay, he doesn't realize I'm gay. And I said, yeah, I had to bring the fact that I had a partner. He's like, you're gay. I was like, yes, gay people do go to the gym. Like, and he was just confused and shocked. Like, why I listen to Mariah Carey? Like, what did he? He must have thought I listened to like rap music or something like that. But yeah, what is that? That's for the children. Rap music. No.
So you're full of,
So,
you're surprised. A lot of times you will say, lambs don't hate me, but, and then you'll give something that's like controversial,
mhm.
maybe by, as an opinion. But then you'll really surprise us with things like that. I was like, I swear it's you that's in the gym listening
I
to
love ballads.
Forever.
My partner, everyone think it's strange. Like, I was like, no, it makes me happy. Like, it makes me, when she's starting at the end, just doing what it makes me happy. Like,
You're thinking of her hand movements. There's a lot of life and
yeah.
energy
Hmm.
in those hand movements. I have a
Yeah.
workout playlist. My PT is slowly getting exposed, and actually I kind of like smirk but don't let it show when actually I catch him humming along or singing along to a couple of songs. I'm like, oh,
Do
they're
you
getting
play
in there.
Mariah?
Yeah,
You play,
yeah,
really?
yeah. We're doing one-on-one workouts in a private space. So I've
And you play
got
Mariah the
my
whole time?
not the whole time. Not the whole time.
Okay.
The whole time, the whole time, the whole time. Love that movie. You know the movie that quote's from?
I've not seen it.
Mrs.
No.
Doubtfire. It's a famous Sally
Oh,
Field
you have
line.
seen that? I don't
The
remember
bit,
that.
the bit. Okay, I didn't deliver it very well, but sidebar. It's where
Oh, the
in the
mum. The
restaurant
whole time.
the whole time,
The
the whole
whole
time, the
time.
whole time.
Yeah.
And I hear
Oh yes, yeah.
a lot of gay men reference it. I can't. Yes, you can't say the whole time to me without me repeating it back 3 times. So no, I don't play Mariah the whole time in my workouts. But yeah, she's there. And in fact, this week I put on some new club mixes. And he was like, "Oh, have we had this one? Have we heard this one?" I said, "Well, I've heard this one before. I've lived with this for several years, but I'm expanding the playlist to bring more Mariah into your life." He just looks at me and smiles. But he's sweet about it. He's got no complaints. I'm paying him, so he won't have any complaints.
Exactly.
So we're
That's who
wondering.
watches this podcast. You should make.
He knows
You should
this would be
break
like a
them.
secret little like, Easter egg for him then, because he knows that no, there's no way, he knows that I have it, and he's popped up. He'll like videos. He will. He's popped up in an Instagram live and stuff. He's nosy. He's interested and curious.
What's his name? Are you allowed to share his name?
Yeah, it's Toby. Hey, Toby.
Hey Toby, Mariah Carey is live. You should watch her. She makes everything better. And remember, I love this quote. The universe is billions of years old, and we get to experience that with Mariah Carey. That's how lucky we are. Like we were
Exactly.
born on the same time Mariah Carey's born. That's how lucky we are, Toby, right?
I think what I might have to do is poke, have a little fun, and yeah, get him on my Instagram story. Like next time I'm in the gym with him, and Mariah comes onto my playlist, is like try and capture his reaction or something. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just leave it there and see whether Toby catches that or not. I shan't bring it to his direct attention. But I'm telling you, and I'm telling Lambs listening, or if you're watching the video version of this podcast on YouTube, if you have a bedtime playlist, do you have this new Always Be My Baby version? Let me know. I have my Drift playlist, and it is definitely there. We are going to take a very quick break, and then we are going to actually get into the meat of today's episode, which is Mariah going back on tour. I'm not saying it's about to happen right now, but at some point it's going to. So yeah, returning to the stage. How do we think that's going to go? Tyrone and I are going to get into that right after this.
Hey everyone, my name is Tyrone. I am a custom wig maker based in London. If you guys would like a new wig for the summer or a new wig for everyday life, please don't hesitate to send me a direct message. I make all kinds of wigs, straight, curly, crinkly, long, short, blonde, auburn, green, anything, you name it, I can make it for you. And the good thing about my wigs, I send them all out by post, so you don't have to come to me, the wigs will come to you. So check out my wigs on Instagram at BaldyLocksWigs or at Facebook at BaldyLocks_wigs. Stay safe, everyone.
And we are back. So Tyrone, the world is slowly getting back to normal now. And we can start to go places, start to see people, start to do things. And I've been wondering over the past year, what were Mariah's plans with her career? I feel like MC30 became a bigger online digital thing because she couldn't go out and do things. I believe she completed the Butterfly Returns residency in Vegas. Like she had those like little splattering of February dates, maybe rolled into early March. I can't quite remember. That finished just before the world shut down. But I wonder like what was next. The only thing that I know that she had that was cancelled was Brighton Pride,
Right.
in terms of like a big live moment. So my question to you and to everyone listening is, what do we think she's going to do in terms of performing? When is she going to come back, and how? Do we think it's going to be a tour? Do we think it's going to be a residency? What do you
I
think
think
she's
it'll
going
be a
to do?
tour. Remember what she said that she needs to go on. She put something once out on her Instagram saying she hasn't had to sing for her supper. Do you remember that when she said that in one of her photos?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't it talking about her vocals? She was reflecting on
Yeah, that's it. She
caution,
hasn't. She hasn't had to sing for her supper.
so
So,
her voice is in a better place.
yeah. So now the voice is good. and she needs to pay for her supper. So my girl's going out on tour, like, and that's what we need, Mariah. We need this. Like, I'm dying. I said to my partner, as soon as she puts in Vegas dates, now because I'm self-employed, I will be flying out for a 4-day weekend in Las Vegas. Would you ever be on that? Go Friday and come back like Monday, so
I'm
we have
down.
Friday night.
Count me in.
Really? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you go.
Yeah, yeah, I'd go. I was chatting. I feel like when I go to America, I've got
That'd be
like
fun.
a list of lambs that I need to make time to see because there's people, but there's people scattered everywhere. But I feel like when Mariah announces Vegas, because I feel like it's going to
Oh,
happen.
please. That I think we would have so much fun. I don't even
There's going to be
understand.
a group. Yeah, there's going to be some of us going, like flying from London, and then we're going to meet other people there, and it's going to be like a mini convention. It's going to be so
Yeah,
much fun.
I
I'm
think
really
that would be
down
so
for
much
it.
fun. Listen, credit card. If I don't have the coins and paying on my credit card, I will go. Like that's like no joke. If she said she was going on tour next month, I'm going. Like I'm going. I'm going.
We
Credit
miss
card.
her.
Sorry.
We miss it.
Yeah.
So I keep seeing on social media, I keep seeing lambs, especially recently we came up to, what was it 2 year anniversary of the Caution World Tour. So I'm seeing people go, oh my God, it's been 2 years since I saw Queen Mariah on stage. Oh my gosh, it's time. I'm missing it. And so people are sharing their photos, videos, and memories. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I do miss it. I do think she will tour. And I do think she will do a
Yes.
residency. Maybe it's kind of both at the same time because when she does a residency,
Like
she's not there for like the year, you know?
like she needs to come to the Royal Albert Hall. Ugh,
How
Mariah.
good was that
If
venue?
she, if she, I know if she brought my dream thing to see before I die. Mariah, if you're hearing this, I want to see the number one to Infinity show. I hope she brings it back. That is my number one. Out of all the tours she's had, like in the part since Smash Machine and Mimi, that is one tour I've always wanted to see. Like I'll take that over the Christmas show, over Caution. Like you don't understand. So
I did
that's my
go.
if she
I did
brought that,
see it,
oh
and it was
really,
very, very good.
like that is a dream come true. Like I, I'm fangirling now here, but literally, Mariah, please, we're dying over here. We're so thirsty. Like. Come on, just give us that show at the Royal Albert Hall. Just do a month, man. Just give us a month. That's what we need.
I would love for her to do a residency over here in England. I don't think it would stack up for her though with the numbers. Maybe I think the reason Vegas works is because you're getting like the random folk that are just. Oh, we're in Vegas. What should we do tonight? You can get a ticket to a show, to a concert. There's so much choice. And you can be on the casino floor, slip in, see a show, slip straight back out. It's different to like traveling to a concert. That's a bit more of a commitment. I mean, for us going to Vegas, that would be a commitment. We're talking about dates and credit cards and flights and hotels
Hmm.
and everything. But you can just pick people up off the street, like to you just get last minute, customers and people coming in. I think that also dictates a little bit what's going to be on the set list. So that's something I want to talk about is if she does do Vegas again, what is it going to be? You kind of said like I don't, number one to Infinity. That's a personal pick, but I don't think like we're going to
Yeah.
get that comeback right now, because maybe in the future when she's got the 20th number one, 21st number one, do we dare to dream? Maybe she can update it again, but I think that was the best way to launch Vegas is because who else can do that? No one else can come in with 18 number ones and sing them in order. So I think that was the right move. But I don't
Yeah.
think we're going to get number one to Infinity if she announces Vegas like next year. I don't know what the Vegas. I mean, what do you think a residency might comprise of? I mean, I know you want number one to Infinity, but do you think that is realistic, or do you think something else is a bit
I
more
think
realistic?
so.
Yeah.
I I think I think she could fill the Albert Hall for a month. Like, and how
I
many
mean, I
times?
mean, sorry, Vegas.
Actually, oh, sorry, Vegas.
If she announces Vegas,
I reckon she'll just do the Butterfly Returns tour. I think it's just nice and easy for her. I think she enjoys that because she actually picked that herself. You don't understand hearing I Don't Want to Cry live, like, I die. And the Thank God I Found You, the acoustic version.
out
Honestly.
of the entire set list on number one to Infinity, Thank God I Found You was very low down for me because it wasn't Thank God I Found You because it's so far
Really?
removed. Yeah, because it didn't feel like it. It was amazing because she was growling and giving like vocal moments, but it was almost like an interlude. she had to do it's like, oh, we've got to do it because it's a number one, but she didn't do the song, like she didn't do a version of it as a duet like she did. You know, she'll do One Sweet Day and she'll get trains, you know, she'll make it like a moment. Thank God I Found You, there wasn't even an attempt to do it like that. She decided to do something completely different, which was interesting, and I did enjoy it. But when you're ticking off the number ones, because that's what the show is, and you get to one, and it's like, oh, but you're singing the words, Thank God I Found You, but it's not the song. It just felt a bit weird.
I absolutely loved it. I would take that over the original any day. Isn't it
Wow.
crazy that we what we like? Like I when I first had like I loved it so much, so much. Like oh yeah, I love the way she did it. I'll take that any day.
If she announces that she's going back to Vegas, I don't think it's going to be number one to infinity. I don't think she's going to reprise 2015, and that went on for what, 2015 to 17. That had many
Will she do the hits?
iterations.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like it needs some kind of like new artwork, new label, like new name, new title, because the Butterfly Returns was pretty much just saying Mariah's coming back to Vegas. And the set list was
Yeah.
somewhat fluid, but I don't want her to keep calling it the Butterfly Returns and just change out a few songs, because for people like me to like, oh yeah, I'll put my butt on a plane and fly over. I want it to. You need to have that. Oh, it's a new show. If she says, oh, it's the Butterfly Returns, I'm like, well, I've seen that. I've seen it. So until you're
I
on
was thinking,
stage showing me new gowns and new songs, I'm not going to go, oh, it's new. Like Caution World Tour, I'm like, oh, it's a new show. We have to go. We still know we're going to get a lot of the same songs, but it has to be like repackaged in a way. So when she goes back to Vegas, I do feel strongly it needs to be a new title, a new brand.
if she's going to Vegas and she pulled out the Christmas show, so she did it in December, and she said she like this year, if she put out dates, would you actually go? Do you think?
I think I would, because for
Maybe.
me, I would wrap it up with the whole social side as well. I've only been to one Christmas show because we didn't get it in Europe for the first few years, and so I didn't catch it in North America. And then I was working in North America when she brought it over to Europe, and I just kept missing it. So I've only been to one Christmas show, and that was London. O2 Arena. So it's huge, and it's just so big. I was so happy to be there, but it's like huge. What I like about the Vegas residency at the Coliseum is it's more intimate, and a dream of mine would be to see her Christmas show at the Beacon Theatre in New York. That feels like the heart of it, you
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah. That must sound amazing in there.
Yeah,
Like, it would sound so different, wouldn't it?
I feel like the Christmas show at Vegas would have some parallels to like a Beacon Theatre moment. It would feel very different to them being at the O2. It was amazing being at the O2, wasn't it? Where everyone is singing "All I Want for Christmas Is You" and there's however many thousand people. That's a whole moment. But then to bring the scale right down to Vegas or the Royal Albert Hall, those moments are more intimate. So if she took the Christmas show to Vegas this year, I would be very tempted to go, but a big part of it is going to be the social side. But in terms of a Vegas residency, my vibe is I want her to still do the songs that she kind of has to do, because if you're in Vegas, you're like, oh, let's go see Mariah Carey. If you turn up and there's no Always Be My Baby, there's no Honey, there's no Heartbreaker, there's no songs that like you could just tick off that list of, oh yeah, that's what Mariah sings, you're not going to feel like you're getting your money's worth. And that's why I feel like she gets boxed in a little bit. There are songs that she has to sing, but I'd like for her to mix up a little bit. So I would like for her, if she were to go back to Vegas, to do something that's a bit more like party vibed. So keep it with Honey, Heartbreaker, etc. But give us moments like It's Like That and Shake It Off, and maybe put in a couple of random ones, like maybe Migrate. That it's kind of for the lambs, kind of for the fans, but it's like part of, like I'm taking a long long way to get to the point, which is I kind of like her to make it like, maybe even call it I Came to Have a Party. The opening line of It's Like That. It's party night. Mariah Carey, I Came to Have a Party in Vegas. No ballads. No, I'm going to miss them. I'm going to miss them. But like, you go there and like, you're on your feet. And she really pushes maybe with some dance mixes. So you still get my all, but we go straight in. Like, don't do the whole song and then give the dance like a little moment at the end. Give us a little intro so you think it's my all, but then you go boom into a Morales mix pretty much from the beginning. Or anytime you need a friend, but give us a remix. I don't know, just like party night. I want a Mariah party night in Vegas.
I'm glad you'd want that.
I know you're gonna miss your ballads. I know you're gonna miss them.
Y'all know I love me some ballads. Like I'm gonna take a ballad all day, forever. It's my jam. Um, I would still go. I would go, obviously, especially yeah. I would go. Yeah, I would. I'm chatting shit. Like I probably would still go. I'm getting my life, so
But your ideal would be Vegas is number one to infinity, or the Butterfly
yes.
Returns.
That number one to infinity. That is the dream. You know I love her greatest hits. Like it's just the greatest hits. Like just back and like
Well, it was there for a couple of years, Tyrone. You know, there
I
was a couple
know.
of years.
Why didn't I don't think why didn't I? I went to Vegas to see Celine Dion. I don't know why I didn't go see Mariah Carey. I didn't have any lamb friends. That's it. I didn't have any friends. That's why. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I had no lamb friends then. Back in like two, I did, but like we wouldn't. Not how it is now. So if you were like, oh, Tara, I'm going to Vegas, I'd be like, okay, when are we going? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I would want to go. So,
That's a big part of
but back
it.
then, I didn't.
You need to have that person to
Mm,
go with. And when
mhm.
I saw number one to infinity, it was with two friends, and the first thing we booked was Mariah and a couple of Cirque du Soleil shows, and we were in Vegas for 10 days. Like, who the fuck goes to Vegas for 10 days?
10 days.
Yeah, and we didn't. None of us gamble, and one of the group doesn't drink.
Okay.
But we saw Mariah, we saw Britney, we saw every Cirque du Soleil show. I had a lovely day with vodka bottle service by the pool, and you couldn't move me from there. We just did different things. It was like going to Vegas, oh, and like outlet shopping and stuff. But it was going
Mhm.
to Vegas for 10 days without any gambling. It was just weird. But I think 10 days is long. I think 5 days is enough. And when I went to see the Butterfly Returns, that's what I did. I went back with one of those friends, and we did 5 days in Vegas, and that was
And you
plenty.
only saw her once. How many times do you see her? But how many times do you see her in concert at Butler Times?
Once I was in Vegas for ten
Only time.
days, and we saw Number One
How
to
come only
Infinity
once?
once because we've seen some. There were some nights we were seeing two shows. We had Britney, and there's like 8 Cirque du Soleil shows, and then we saw another show that wasn't Cirque. We saw a show every night that we were there, and sometimes it was two. We'd see like a 6 or 7 o'clock show, and then rush over to another casino, another hotel to get a 10 o'clock show. We saw like 12, 13 shows in 10 nights or something. And then the
Oh,
Butterfly Returns, because these are non-lamb friends. They're friends that were happy to go. And I'm like, how much are you willing to spend? Like, how close can we get? And I remember I was a bit naughty, and I topped up their contributions a little bit. And I was like, oh, we got some really great seats. And then they like, find out I've like thrown on an extra whatever. And I get a little slap on the wrist. But yeah, once was enough. I wasn't like selfish, and it makes it like it just special. But if I were going
you
with
should have
lamb
been.
friends, then I would maybe say let's go more times. But also, I was happy going once. I was happy going once. I didn't feel the need to then say, well, we've done it as a
Thanks.
group, but now I'm going to go like by myself. Because if I'm going on a group vacation, on a group trip, I want to be of the group and for the group. But I'm happy to go multiple times if I'm going with lamb friends.
Like if that was us, let's say if you're in a group of land friends, and they're like, and Mariah was singing like 5 times out of the week. We were there for 5 days. If everyone's like, we've seen her 3 times, we're gonna go and see someone else. I'll be like, no, I'll be seeing her the 5 times. I'll be seeing her the
Okay.
5 times.
Well, here's a question. Are you would you rather go once and be front row with that $1,000 price tag, which take away the pandemic, let's say you've still got meet and greet happening, because I don't know if that's going to happen in the future,
Hmm.
or would you rather go 5 times but have seats that are like very far away?
5 times any day.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 times. I need to listen to her 5 times. I'm a really boring fan. Like when I go there, I don't dance, I don't sing, I get angry if people sing. I stand there and I just have my phone, I record it, I just take the moment in, like I'm the worst. Like even Dream Love will be on, I'll be like, just moving side to side. I have to record every single moment of it. Or I've got all her tours on video. I just have to
Wow.
record it so I can take it home and then enjoy it even more. I turn them into MP3s and listen to them like I'm that lamb.
I've stopped recording it. I'll do like a quick little bit for like social media or whatever. But I used to try and I'll get this song. I want to get at least 2 or 3 full songs.
Oh mate, I
I
got from
don't watch
start to
them back.
finish
I just
every single.
I just don't enjoy reliving it like that. It never to me sounds the
Yeah.
same or feels the same. And then also then I feel like I'm not fully in the moment if I'm holding my phone or I'm watching the frame and oh my hand has slipped or oh that bitch's head's in the way or whatever. I feel like those things is where my attention's going rather than just like enjoying
What
the
I might do
moment.
next time is buy a recorder, just leave it on the floor and record the whole thing, and I can cut and paste it because I it's not as nice when you're standing with your phone in hand. I've never and like when I go there, I don't drink, and I would like to experience it a bit tipsy because I'd enjoy it even more. So you know, but I'm more
Well,
just like that.
okay, so we do concerts differently. So I have not. Okay, I'll go as far forward as I can within the agreed budget, the price bracket with my non-lamb friends. I haven't been to a Mariah concert with just lamb friends since Charm Bracelet era. So I do want to be in a front row, like or front, 3 rows moment at some
What are
point.
you willing to pay for that? Be honest.
Well, we won't talk numbers because that's tacky, and at least not in public. But let's just say I'm happy the world's going back to normal. I'm happy I can actually, be working and squeezing in, as you know from us messaging about arranging this, trying to squeeze in podcast recordings now is becoming a little bit trickier because I'm back to work a bit more now, and it's nice to feel needed and wanted and useful again now that things are opening up. But so I'm gonna start a little Mariah fund. I think we've got more merch coming out this year, and I want to be ready when she announces a tour or when she announces a residency. I want to have a pile of coins, and I want to just like reach instantly to online to my nearest and dearest lamb friend to go, who's going, what are we spending, where are we sitting? And
We
I do want to find some people that want to go like front row and do that because I haven't done that. I haven't done it, so I feel like I want to experience it at least once. And also the whole meet and greet thing, because I'm torn because I've got some lovely photos with Mariah, but I never paid for any of them, and I'm torn with the backstage thing because that's a very expensive price tag for a photo, and it does sound like you're in, post photo, 10 seconds, thank you, cheers, thanks a lot, done. But then part of me just really wants to have a cute outfit and have just have that photo. You want that photo that you like just lives forever on your wall.
we'll meet her for free one day.
But you know what? I think your way is probably the way to go. If she goes back to Vegas in the next couple of years, I don't know if there's going to be a meet and greet. I just don't know. It's not that Mariah's a real, she is such a statuesque diva, and I'm sure you're told before you go in, don't touch. But just being close to people, I feel like I'd want her to be safe and feel safe. And I think a lot of artists, it's a good way for artists to make their coins is, they whack up the price tag and, 20 people from the front row, whatever it is, that get the package, they go backstage. I don't know if that's going to be there. So it's not something that's going to be maybe on the shopping list. So if Mariah goes to Vegas, I came to have a party and I want a playlist built around, emancipation and some dance mixes and things like that. And you want her to revive number one to infinity. So we want very different Vegas experiences. And I want to be front row for one night, and you want to be further back for 5 nights.
Well, I always did like, for instance, at the Royal Albert Hall, I did it in like pieces. So one night I was on the side, like 2 rows up on the side, and then one night I was in the middle, and then another night I was right at the back. So I just go, just spread out the coinage instead of seeing her once.
And that's interesting because then you get to experience it from like different angles, and it must be different experiences. We need to take a break again, and then we're gonna continue the discussion because there are some different scenarios and maybe Mariah can return to performance, so we will explore those right after this. Thanks for listening to Hey Lamb, guys. I hope you are enjoying it. If you are, you can leave me a little tip. You can buy me a drink over on buymeacoffee.com. It is a great way to show your support to your favorite creators by buying them a drink. Simply head over to buymeacoffee.com/heylamb and you can tip me with a little drink. Cheers. So we have covered Vegas, and we've kind of touched a little bit on tour. I think a tour set list is always going to be a little bit different to a residency playlist. Residency, she's got to capture people off the street, and she's in one set location, and she has to almost be like a tourist attraction. I hate to say that, but any artist in Vegas is. You've got to get people to come and see you. But when you're on tour, there's always going to be that flexibility where the set list will be tailored a little bit to the market that you're in. And that's where I feel Mariah maybe suffers a little bit, because when she comes over to UK, I feel like she feels like she has to give us songs like Without You, which I don't know that she loves anymore. You know, things like that. I'm like, you know, I personally don't need Hero again. I personally don't need Without You. I love that you did Against All Odds on Sweet Sweet Fantasy Tour. And it was a nice surprise, but I didn't need it. And I
needed that. I needed that one.
Yeah.
I needed that.
I worry like a tour, like I think if it's supporting a new album, then absolutely, because Caution made sense, because you get the songs that she kind of has to do, and then you get the splatter of new songs. So I think if we are going to get MC16 next year, and she wants to support it with a world tour like she did with Caution, then I'm up, So I think what I'm trying to say is I'm up for a world tour if it's supporting an album, and she does pretty much what she did with Caution World Tour.
If she went and did an Asian tour, would you go fly to Asia? I would.
I don't know. Because that's a longer thing. Like then I'd have to build. For me, that has to be a proper vacation. Like I'd have to build.
Have you been to Vegas before ever? I'm sorry, Asia before.
No, I've never been to Asia.
I think you would enjoy it. I actually think you would enjoy it. I can imagine, say we go to see Mariah Carey in Japan, we fly to Vietnam, do a Vietnam cruise on Halong Bay. It's the most magical experience.
I would love to go to Japan. I remember when the Tokyo Olympics were announced, I was going to like put money away and like go over, and that just never happened, and now look where we are. But I would love to go, but I would love to put myself in the hands of someone who has been, and I can like follow your itinerary and like, you know, put my trust in someone, because if it comes down to me to build that trip, it's probably never going to happen. I wouldn't go to Asia specifically to see Mariah. It would have to be part of a bigger thing. Like when I saw Mariah in Australia, I didn't go to Australia to see Mariah, just to see Mariah. I was going over to Sydney for a vacation, and a friend was working in Sydney at the time, and then it just all kind of lined up, and I was like, I've got a 10-day window where I can take time off work, my friend is working in Sydney, and Mariah is playing. It's like, boom, it's happening. But would I go over to Sydney, see a concert, and come back? No, it's too far.
I wouldn't go to Sydney for that. So.
It has to be a bigger trip.
Do you feel the same? Do you feel like that with Asia then? Is that like too like? Because Sydney, I wouldn't go. That's too far. That's ridiculous for me. I think.
I'd want Asia to be a bigger moment. I feel like if I went there to see Mariah and then I came back, it's not a wasted opportunity. Like I need it to be more. I would absolutely go see the concert once or twice, but then I need to have the whole experience and go different places. And then I'm like, well, who am I traveling with, and what knowledge do they have, and what recommendations? I don't think I would go to Asia and back for a concert. Vegas, yeah, I'd go to New York and back for like a long weekend. I'd go to Vegas and back for a long, I mean, that's harder with the distance, but I'd go for like a long weekend or like a week and meet up with some Lamb friends and things.
New York, I would. Yeah, I would. Definitely.
Yeah.
And Vegas, yeah.
How do you feel about a tour set list versus Vegas? Like Vegas, you said it would be number one to Infinity, and I know you've kind of mentioned you'd love her to bring that over. I don't think number one to Infinity in UK is going to happen because they're not UK hits. I don't think it's something that can like be marketed. But if she were to do a tour, what are your thoughts on that?
My tour will be a ballad, like like my tour. I think it's like UK people, us in England. I think they like Mariah's fast hits. Like I think like we love that it's like that. The fantasy obsessed. So that's what they'd want. So like I don't think she'd come over and just be singing ballads. That's my dream. Unfortunately it's not going to happen.
But I do think we like a number of ballads over here as well. I'll Be There, Without You, Hero, We Belong Together, Against All Odds. Even I Want to Know What Love Is. I think actually she's got Open Arms, there, Endless Love. There are a good number of songs that I feel like the
Endless Love
British
is my
public
jam.
would respond to.
Did you know Endless Love is my favorite second song by Mariah Carey?
Your second favorite?
Yep, that gets played on a daily basis. Like I have the version where it's Luther and Mariah, but I've got rid of Luther's not there, so it's Mariah only. Have you heard that
Yeah,
version?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That gets played in the gym, like on repeat, a good 6 times. I'm not even joking.
I
Like
was going to ask you
that is my
if
jam.
I was going to ask you if the Mariah only version was your duet version at home, but no, that's your the
No,
gym
the
jam.
duet version will be me and Luther. I'm Mariah. Like, so no, no. So, but I don't listen to I listen to Luther and Mariah. Or I listen to Mariah. I would never listen to just Luther by himself. But just no, no. If I did, I'll be Mariah. Like,
You have an alternative Mariah gym playlist, and I love it. So I don't know what we're going to get announced in terms of a tour or a residency. I think possibly both. I don't see why it has to be one or should be one over the other. I think a tour would be best reserved for when there's a new album. And I feel like MC16 is coming. That 16th studio album will come. Hopefully she can support it with a world tour like Caution.
how many more albums do you want? Do you think? If she released this last album, and said that's it, and then she would do a couple of residencies here and there, would you be happy? Like, I'll be happy with that.
I'll be happy with whatever she serves because at this point she doesn't owe us, and well, she never did owe us
No,
anything. So I think we're just
no.
so incredibly lucky that she's still making music 30 years in. I do get the vibe that she's still interested in commercial
Yeah. Yeah, I
success.
don't think she'll stop. I actually don't think she'll stop.
I
She'll be
think
like
she's
a
going to
Cher
find it
2.0.
difficult to shift, but I also feel like creatively she's got things that she wants to explore that aren't going to be commercial ventures. I do think she's got a jazz album in her. I do think she's got like a gospel fused album
Yeah.
in her. She's brought those moments into her music along the way, but I don't think she's really done with like commercial moments. I mean, hello, Ariana Grande. They didn't really do anything on the charts, but it's certainly got everyone's interest. But maybe now that can pave the way for a pop collab, not a Christmas collab. So I feel like if she got 20th and 21st number ones, and then I'd be like, right now, just stop, doing
Yeah.
cautions, stop doing collabs, and don't worry, just now go and do the
Whatever
more,
you
more like
want.
the hobby albums. Do the jazz, do the gospel. Give us those because I mean, like I keep saying, but We Belong Together, the late night Valentine's, but that was amazing. That was amazing. I'd love for her to go off and do creative things like that, but I feel like she's still interested in the commercial side. And of course, there is one more way that Mariah can return to performing, and I'm kind of surprised she hasn't done it. Digital. I've mentioned it a couple of times previously. It's not really happening now because, like I said, the world's getting back to normal. But there were a lot of people delivering concerts and live performances online, and I really hoped that by now we might have had something more than the at home YouTube moments to give us a bit of a set list or go, hey, lambs, what do you want? And we get to, oh my God, like, we could get Petals, we could get Slipping Away, Do You Think of Me? Mr. Dupree mix of Always Be My Baby, things that are less likely we're going to get in Vegas or on tour, like for the Lambs, like an at-home concert for the Lambs. If she were to announce something like that, even though it's not in person, I would probably be just as excited as a tour
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
Vegas moment.
'Cause at least she's comfortable as well in her own surrounding. So you know we're gonna get perfect vocals. Not that we don't get perfect vocals, because we always get perfect vocals. So that I would die if she gave me an Always Be My Baby but a remix version. I'll die. scientists will find my edges on Mars because they'll be snatched so violently. Like, I will die.
I think it could be interesting. It could be interesting because she can have more fun with that playlist. I reckon there are certain songs that she would genuinely love to perform, but she just knows that she can't really, dare I say, get away with them in front of like the O2 Arena. That's not why people are paying for a Mariah Carey ticket, or people that go to Vegas. Like we said, they need certain songs. But I think she knows there are songs that the Lambs would love to hear that maybe they don't belong in a Vegas set list. They don't belong on a world tour because it's only going to be us that gets it. And that's why I think it makes it like a private moment. It's more special. Like, do it online, like a ticketed thing. We'll pay coins. I would happily pay coin for a digital presentation. And also, it doesn't even need to be fully live in terms of she can pre-record them. So she could spend a week at home putting together some mashups like Through the Rain, Make It Happen, those kind of moments, and she could do like little set lists and it could all be like edited together. I've paid some coins for some online documentaries and digital drag cons with drag queens and things.
I'll be happy with that. It's basically like what she did with the Merry Christmas show, right? The Apple Christmas show. Just give me one of those.
What, from her living room?
Not yeah, from the living room.
All that production.
Yeah, not a whole like movie moment, but just in the living room. Just give me some vocal, but obviously new songs.
Yeah.
Would you want old songs or new songs?
No. I don't think it's maybe the right platform to introduce something new.
Yeah.
But maybe like just to reinterpret. I mean, I really am thinking like the at-home studio moments, because the way she did Heroes with Hero and Through the Rain mashed up with Make It Happen. Just those little flicks of something new, and it makes it very, very special.
That Joy to the World was a good fucking receipt to pull out.
Yes, it was.
Haters. Sorry for my language. Honestly, that was a receipt. I even posted it on my story.
I'm down for more of those moments, and it will be a chance for us to hear which songs she would like to sing that she doesn't get to on tour. She could interact with us. Like she's very active on Twitter. She's like, this song or that song, this song or that song. Like Mariah, let us help you build an at-home playlist. You know, a concert set list.
We should start trending hashtag Justice for Forever. Can you imagine?
Charm Bracelet has come up recently. Somebody mentioned Charm Bracelet online. Yep. And Brian Tanaka quote tweeted and like co-signed on it. And I added a tweet like, can we also get some of the amazing tour footage as well? Because the Charm Bracelet world tour was really good. So I think it would be an opportunity to give some album tracks a bit of shine and a bit of love, and collect some Lamb coins, and there can even be some kind of digital meet and greet, because she's done some like Zooms for her anniversary. There was a Zoom party with some Lambs, and she got the link as she joined, and there was she's happy, like Twitter Spaces. I was there, you know, she's happy hanging out with the Lambs, and I'm like, she could also do digital meet and greets, like group things, as you know, group meet and greets, like 10 Lambs at a time or something or whatever. I think it could work. She needs someone to like, you know, produce it. But it hasn't got to be very sophisticated. I don't need loads of production. I'm quite happy for her just to be in her home studio. Like, it's almost like the more stripped back it is, and the more it feels like we're just hanging out with her in her home studio, the more, you know, we're always going to get Mariah Carey, the big production, like the Apple Christmas special, maximum production, and I live for it. I love it. But at the other end of the scale, how cool would it be for her to just give us, like, just us Lambs, a show where it's her in her home studio? Like, what do you want to hear? I put a poll up last week and you said you want to hear the Mr. Dupree mix of Always Been Baby. Okay, got you covered. Here we go. You know, like hanging out with her in her home studio. That would be really special.
Right, give it to us. We need it.
So possibly a world tour to support a forthcoming album. Maybe a Vegas residency, because I feel like she kind of knows what that gig is, and it's quite nice to be settled for some months of the year. I think there will be a world tour with a new album. I think we'll get a Vegas residency again at some point. Yeah. I hope we'll get Brighton Pride rebooked when it works out for all parties. I don't know we're going to get my personal dream of a Lambs only digital concert with all the deep cuts and album cuts. But whatever and whenever Mariah does return to the stage, I will be there. And Tyrone, I know you'll be there as well.
Matt, did you see the announcement? Yes. What time we leaving? Like, honestly, I have a budget, but we can make something work.
Those of you listening and those of you watching on the video version on YouTube, let us know. Do you have a preference? Do you think that you would rather Mariah stays home and stays safe and delivers performances online? Would you want her to go to Vegas where it's easier to like control the situation so she can be safe? Do you think she should just wait until it's safe and she's happy to go on tour? So yeah, would you rather a residency? Would you rather a tour? Let us know. Get involved over on Instagram at Hey Lamb Podcast, and if you're on YouTube watching the video version, then jump into the comments. And yeah, it's so interesting that you and I, Tyrone, have got different wishes, very different wishes for a Vegas. We both want to go to Vegas together, but might be sat in different places and hoping for different songs.
Matt will be front row. I'll be like a couple of hundred rows back. Like,
we've got a couple of minutes left, so let's play Resident Game Spin, Pin or Bin. So the rules haven't changed, they're still the same. I'm going to pick 3 Mariah songs at random. One has to be spin, 1 pin and 1 bin. So spin is play it right now because I love it so much. Pin is I'm not sure, maybe save it for another day. And bin is nope, can't stand it. Well, no, that's wrong. That's not fair. That's not normally how I describe it.
I called
bin. Bin is I'm gonna have to let it go. I might miss it, but I'm gonna let it go. I never get to play it again. So here we go. The 3 songs are I Still Believe, Pure Imagination remix. That is a Lamb favorite. Second one. Oh my god, similar vein, My All, Stay a While.
okay.
And the third one, Irresistible, Charm Bracelet album. So everyone play along with us. We've got I Still Believe, Pure Imagination. We've got My All, Stay a While. And we have got Irresistible. That's really interesting. We've got I Still Believe, Pure Imagination and My All, Stay a While. Okay. I think my gut reaction, I think I know. But Tyrone, you're the guest. You go first. What are you going to do?
So spin, I Still Believe the remix.
You love the Pure
Pin
Imagination remix?
Pin is Irresistible, and then bin in the candy bin is going My All.
You don't like the Stay a While remix?
It's alright. Like, I love it, but I love it. I love everything. I love it. It's just it's not. I would take Irresistible. I love that song. It sounds so good. I'm putting that straight on after this. Like, thanks for reminding me.
Wow. Okay, well, my spin is My All, Stay a While because I love that remix.
Wow.
I really, really love
really?
it. Always have, played it all the time on CD. Irresistible goes in the bin. I think I've done this to Irresistible before. I think it's come up before. It's just, it doesn't build or go anywhere for me, and it's a bit long. And I feel like Irresistible, although it's good, it just has a hard time competing against other songs it's coming up against. And I love the Pure Imagination of I Still Believe. So that's going to be pinned because I just love the My All one a little bit more. Interesting. So as always, I'll put those 3 songs in competition against each other on the Hey Lamb Podcast Instagram account so you guys can get involved as well. Tyrone, remind everyone where we can get you on Instagram. It's Tyrone Story and Boldilocks Wigs, right?
Yeah, Tyrone Story. That's where you see just my personal pictures, my parrots and me, my partner's travels. And then my business, so if you guys want any wigs that are handmade by myself, that is Boldilocks Wigs on Instagram and Boldilocks_wigs on Facebook, and then Boldilocks Wigs on YouTube.
There you go, kids. Go and check out Tyrone and his wonderful wig work over on Instagram. I am Treacle Tots on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget, we're looking for some wonderful 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Thank you, Tyrone. Always a pleasure. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.